For talking to us.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. VidCon.
Yeah, well, VidCon is sort of a weird experience because you have all these people who make content in their houses, in their rooms, and they never see anybody who responds to their work. So when you go to VidCon, you have 13,000 people who watch your stuff.
Right.
So it's like it's a whole nother world. It's like every single person that you could possibly want to meet, that you've been obsessed with for years and years, like that's who's here. So to me, that's like better than meeting Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp.
Absolutely, because they're from your industry. They are superstars.
Yeah. Like Philip DeFranco is my personal Brad Pitt.
Really?
So yeah, seeing him walk around, it's very strange.
That's amazing. And do you get to go to any of the panels, or what does your schedule look like kind of when you're here?
Right now, the only thing I was invited to do was perform, but I get to perform on the main stage,
right,
which should be for thousands of people, which I've never performed my songs live. So it's been sort of an uphill battle learning how to change what I do for a live audience.
For a stage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But that's what I'm gonna do.
And how did you prepare for that?
Well, it's a lot of like taking myself away from the idea of one person watching it and putting myself in a room with thousands of people.
Wow.
So basically what I'm doing, I stripped away the main audio and I just have the karaoke track. And I'm going to be singing to my video, which hopefully people recognize.
That's going to be so cool.
I'm terrified, but it should be cool.
No, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's not that safety net at all of being able to just edit whatever you did bad out
Absolutely.
or anything. So, but you said you've never really performed?
Right.
At all?
Well,
So-
in high school I performed, but I haven't performed my stuff ever. No.
Never. Wow, that's going to be an experience.
Yeah.
So, okay, talk to us a little bit about creating your videos. How long does it take on average?
It depends on what type of video I make.
Sure.
Sometimes I make vlogs, they take
Right.
a few weeks,
Right.
and usually it's just because I'm lazy. Or the songs are the things that take forever.
Yeah,
So
I can imagine.
recording a song might take a month. Because,
A month?
well, if you think about it, I do, like the After Ever After video, for example,
Yeah.
had probably 8 tracks of audio, okay? And I have to do every single one. I also arrange it by ear while I go along. So if something doesn't work, I have to go back and erase, 8 tracks that could take a day. So it's a 4-minute video of just my voice with 8 tracks.
Right.
It's a very, very difficult process. But, after 2 months, it went viral, and that's what I made.
It went viral.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of people I respect and a lot of like real big superstars were putting it out online and tweeting
Absolutely.
it.
And you were on like Huffington Post and all sorts of
HuffPost.
stuff. How was that? What was that experience like?
It was crazy. I was getting like letters from the editors and things like that and saying we haven't had this much traffic in 2 years on our site because of the video I uploaded.
Wow.
So they put it on their site and now all of a sudden it has 500,000 likes on Facebook from the site. It blew my mind. I could not believe it. Especially when you're slaving away on something for like 2.5 months. It's like you never want to imagine what's going to happen. You just want to get through it and then see,
Right.
release it. So
Right, that's a good mentality to have though. So when you're going through that process, how do you know when a video is done? For you?
Well, it's actually interesting. So I recorded the audio of After Ever After, and then I created the video for it. I recorded it in Austin, where I go to school, and I edited it. I sent it to my sister. I was like, "What do you think?" And she was like, "Scrap it. Scrap the video." Because it was poorly lit. I didn't have colorful backgrounds. I didn't edit it. It was just 4 squares. So I brainstormed with her, like, what should you do? And then she said, do the vertical panels. So I refilmed it, I reshot it, re-edited it, and I mean, thanks to her, I think it's like much bigger than it would have been had I kept it. But it's like your video is never done until you say it's done. So I guess that's how I knew it was done, was getting the stamp of approval from my sister.
That is so cool. That's
Yeah.
amazing to have someone like that you can just really trust
Exactly.
to give you honest feedback.
Yeah, my family always gives me the
Yeah.
most honest feedback. Sometimes it's brutal, but
Yeah.
that's what I need.
Absolutely. No, of course. The creative always needs that, so like a voice of
Yeah,
music.
absolutely.
Just love that. So how about the idea, like the inspiration for these projects? Where do they come from?
I'll be walking around and I'll have an idea, I'll write it down on my phone. I think I have probably 50 plus ideas, because the idea is the easiest part, and the idea is worth nothing.
Right.
The execution's the hardest part, but I've been watching YouTube videos for like 7 years.
Okay, so you've been a big consumer before.
I am obsessed with YouTube. Like, it is my passion. It's everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I watch these people I love, and then they make things they love, and then I love those things, and that in turn I can make things that I love. And I think now I finally have the ability to do that. You know, I've worked at it so long that I understand what people want to see, and I understand what I want to see. So it's like it's been a journey. It's been awesome.
And do you feel like there's a particular YouTuber who influenced you in terms of style or content? Or?
Yeah. I don't know if there's like a musical YouTuber inspired me. I'm more inspired by the original content. Like, I made a song about Harry Potter. That's what inspires me, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Or Disney. I love Disney.
Right.
So. But as far as like vlogging style, I'm a big fan of Ryan Higa, who's one of the most subscribed people, Charlie McDonald, who's the original British guy, Alex Day, people who are just really honest with their work, but also are super quirky. That's who I like to sort of be like. Ideally, I would be them, but I can't be them, so I do my best.
That's amazing. And so have you always had this passion for filmmaking and storytelling and music?
Yes. I mean, my parents put me in piano when I was young, and so I took that and I was like, I hate this. This is the worst, because I wasn't taking composition. I was learning, you know, Mozart and
right.
stuff like that. So I quit that in high school, and then I just began to play around. I began to compose, and that's when I discovered that I loved music. As far as storytelling, as I could get my hands on a camera and that would be it. Like, once I felt, my dad had this really gigantic like videotape camera, and I would make like scooter videos with my family, like running around on a scooter like, you know, skateboarders did. But I've always wanted to sort of tell stories and make videos and show people.
And so you knew film school was for you from high school? Or?
Sort of. At high school, I discovered I love theater as well.
Okay.
So that's sort of what my channel is. It's a blend of musical theater and humor and pop culture, things like that. So, yeah, it was a really difficult decision between film school and musical theater.
Yeah.
But I chose film because that's where the money is, I think. Yeah.
But honest reason.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And so what about for you in terms of the future? Where do you see yourself?
Right. Well, right now I'm looking to build an audience that trusts me and that I trust them, and that they would be willing to fund a project that I believe in.
Cool.
So
via Kickstarter, Indiegogo,
maybe
something like that?
maybe. I'm not
Okay.
sure yet. I mean, I just went to a panel today and he said maybe Kickstarter won't be here a few years from now because people will get fatigued. So whatever the next big thing is, that's what I'm going to do. But I want to make films. That's what I'm. Yeah, I'm going to continue making YouTube videos. I love it. It's a great format. However, I want to tell stories and I want to show them to the world. So hopefully I can do that.
And do you do a lot of writing on the side?
Yeah, somewhat. I have a lot of ideas. I do short skits and things like that. I'm in an improv troupe. So yeah,
So much fun at that.
I love improv. It's like it's amazing. It gives me so many ideas too. But I do enjoy writing. Writing, directing would be ideal.
Okay, that would be ideal. So not acting. You're okay with moving away from
I'm fine with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Bob Fosse. He wanted to be an actor, and then he was like, I'm losing my hair, I can't be an actor. And so that's what forced him to be a choreographer and then later a director. So I think that's what's pushing me too. I don't look like Brad Pitt, so why not make films with Brad Pitt?
Do you think, will there be a point where you're just like, I'm done with YouTube? Or do you think that, and you're going to just go dive into the film world, or how do you think you're going to make that transition?
I don't see that ever happening,
Yeah.
because YouTube was my original thing.
Yeah.
Like, before I loved films, before I loved music, I loved YouTube. So, I mean, I'll always be on the site, and I'll always at least be consuming, but I don't see myself ever giving it up, because it's such a unique format,
Absolutely.
and there's such a loyalty among the audience that I can't give it up.
Yeah, and there's just a communication with the audience that I think
Absolutely.
you don't have with film. So that's a totally different thing, and I'm just watching you walk around, like that must be incredibly rewarding to have these people just come up to you and connect with you in a way that you can't with film necessarily.
Yeah, it's like we're not elite here. I mean, we are sort of elite. We're in this cool room and nobody else gets to be in here. But I don't like being in here. I like being out there and talking to people who love my stuff. So that's what I live for. That's like what I do. So
Right. And are you always creating? Are you always working on a video? Or
yes, more or less. I mean, I always like to write. I write a lot, and I like to come up with the ideas, discuss it with my family, and then editing is like when I have all the footage, I'm in a room editing forever. Like,
really?
Yeah, it'll take like 4 days, and I won't leave the house. Sort of things.
Wow. Do you have a favorite step of the process?
Editing. Yeah.
Editing.
Well, it's because everything's done. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's the most creative part because
you can mold it.
Yeah. Right. You can choose what it's going to be. Same thing with films. Like, you can have something completely different. Like Martin Scorsese had a famous film that was terrible, and so he just sort of inverted it, told it backwards, and then it was like Oscar worthy. So, I mean, that's a cool process. It's what I like.
Absolutely. And in terms of balancing that with school, how do you handle that during the school year?
Yeah, school comes first.
Yeah.
So if I have time on the side, then I work on videos, and if I don't, I don't.
Because I imagine for school you're having to make short films and projects like that. So
yeah, there's lots of projects, and you know, it is a different world.
Absolutely.
YouTube is a different world than films.
Yeah.
So to put myself in the world of YouTube while I'm making a short film, the short film will come out as a YouTube video. That's not what I want to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so generally I take myself away from it and
Okay.
just focus on one project at a time.
Wow. So you really have to shift your mentality in order to make the amazing content that you make.
Thank you.
Do you ever share your short films online, or do you ever plan to? Like student work?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Right now I haven't made anything I'm proud of, like super proud of.
Right.
But when I do,
hard.
It
It's
is
so
hard. I'm like,
it takes so long.
I'm surprised with how much bad films are out there.
Yeah,
But
so much talent.
no, there's like we do guerrilla style at
Yeah,
my
exactly,
school a lot.
exactly.
It's like we got 3 people here. Let's get the actor in front of the camera and
Right,
see what
right,
happens.
right.
And usually they suck. So yeah.
Well, maybe eventually.
Maybe eventually.
It will come together.
I'm working on it.
But it's a process. No, absolutely. And that's so cool to know that it's just not super easy for you. I mean, you have to work through it, and you have to get good at it. So that's incredible. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to
Yes.
take up any more of your time, but this has been amazing. We've learned so much. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.